For my culturally responsive teaching lesson series, I decided to use my own students, which they are grade 7. I teach at a school in Pleasant Grove, so our demographics is predominantly Latino, and then maybe about 10% Black, and that's pretty much it. So being that they are grade 7 taking pre-AP, I'm teaching at 8th grade level math. So all of our TEKs are 8th grade. So the two TEKs that I chose were 8.12D, which is simple and compound interest, comparing the two, and then 8.12G, which is estimating college. So they did have to have some previous knowledge on how to actually solve simple interest and compound separated, and being able to bring them together for it to make sense as for the game that they're going to play when it discusses how to pay for school and actually take care of the loans. And then estimating college, because it's personal finance, is not any, there aren't any prereqs that they technically need besides just kind of understanding how to, divide up money, pay per month, calculate per hour things, which is things they kind of been learning since probably elementary school, at least since 6th grade, because I did teach most of my students last year because I moved up with them. But other than that, these two TEKs actually go hand in hand because it's part of the personal finance. One thing to consider with this video of the 20-minute lesson series is that these students really have a lack of confidence when it comes to higher education and college, and that's something I've noticed even since last year, that when it comes to the college conversation, it's almost sometimes, not all of them, kind of write it off as if it's not attainable, as if they don't know how they're going to pay for it, so they're not even going to think about it. Not that they're not smart or that they aren't capable of getting a degree, but the fact that they don't think that it's physically possible because nobody's telling them that you still can go to college and not have to pay all of this money. So I really like the personal finance unit more than any other unit that I teach in math, just due to the fact that I can make it very real for them. Middle school math, it is crucial that we connect to the real world, make real world connections, because they're gonna ask why. They're in that age where they feel like, why do we need to know this? So this particular video is going to showcase them using their own interests, real world scenarios, and our TEKs all in one, and just really getting fully engaged into the TEKs in a whole different light that I've never done before with them. Okay, so back to what I was saying. On your group papers, there is a love it and hate it column. What are we putting in the love it or hate it columns? Careers, right? So what are some love it careers I could say? Doctors. What else? Engineers? Police officer. What about some hated ones? Janitors? Not too much. Not too much. I love my job. Thanks. You said what? School board? Oh, fast. Okay, yeah, I heard that. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all like roughly not even 5 minutes, maybe like 3 minutes to get a list of your love it and your hate it, because I know y'all have been thinking about them already. Then start thinking about the questions that I listened to you earlier. What skills, experience do I need to do? A college degree? What do you need to accomplish the career choice that your group chooses, right? Do you like it? Can you still have the same lifestyle? What is the salary? How much money do they make, right? You might not want to be a janitor or a trash man because you don't stink, but also you might not make as much money versus like a doctor or something like that, right? So it is up to you. I do not care what you choose because, again, your career, your life, your decision, right? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes for your group to come up with it and start answering questions 1 through 4. Y'all ready? Where's my timer? Oh. All right, timer set, go. No wrong or right answer. No wrong or right answer. So then that's thinking of the, what is this? Oh, fast food. But why? But don't say what people you don't like. Think about what you would like, right? So some people might actually like the fast food job, right? But you might not. So what do you see yourself? What do y'all like today? Video games? You be a video game developer? And you have a project?
That's okay, it's okay, it's alright, it's
You got less than a minute. You have at least one on each side. A love it job, a hate it job. Some people got more than one.
trash can be trash can right there. What job you not like though? Bro, that's how we get off. That's a good job.
Oh yeah, I want to know how to see what you Don't forget to choose one at the top. What career choice are y'all going to focus on?
Engineer, place engineer.
Which one are you going to focus on? Doctor, chef, or yes. If you can hear me. That was perfect. Okay. This group, what is your career choice that y'all are supposed to focus on? Lawyer. Y'all got yours already? Doctor. Andrew's group, what did y'all put?
We got lawyer too.
Lawyer too, so 2 lawyers. Engineer. Y'all said, so we got 2 engineers, 2 lawyers, and doctors. So, y'all all chose very, very high paying jobs. Is that why?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so why no?
I wanted to work at McDonald's.
You do not want to work at McDonald's. You want to work at McDonald's?
Yes.
Or you better own McDonald's?
Not McDonald's restaurant.
What?
McDonald's restaurant. But they get close. I have such a breakfast.
But somebody got to do it, right? It's
Yeah,
only me.
somebody got to do it.
Andrew, why you say no? Not just because money.
Because I would like to help the people who are like.
I can't hear him. I'm standing 2 feet.
I like to help the people who can't defend themselves.
Can't what? Defend themselves. That's a great reason why. So I feel like that goes into what you're passionate about. Do you love helping people? Whether that is people younger than you. So with lawyers, 2 groups wanted lawyers, right? You can defend juveniles. You can defend whoever you want. I don't know that much. And if I need you, I'll call y'all. Okay? Will you have the lifestyle you want? So with lawyers, doctors, engineers, do you think you'll be able to still do whatever you want? Do you think you'll still be able to travel a whole bunch? I'm seeing a lot of head nods. Yeah? Because y'all got money to do it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the money, salary? How much do y'all think they make?
Like 100K.
72,000.
72K? 100,000? 60K a month?
$100,000.
100,000. Okay, so real quick, this group brought up a very valid point, which brings me to my next point. They said it depends. It is going to depend on a lot of things. Main thing being if you go to college or not, what kind of college you go to, whether that is community, private, what internships you do, what part-time jobs, a whole lot of stuff, right? I know I talked to y'all about this, I think, last week with college and all the stuff we got to pay for. Did I say this along this? Okay, you got to get tuition, you got to pay for your dorm, your books, equipment, personal experience, transportation, whatever. But what I feel like a lot of people don't tell you guys is that there are things like grants. Do y'all remember what grants are? No. Money that what? Do I need to pay a grant back?
No.
No. Grants. scholarships, loans, federal loans out here to help you pay. Like when I was in college, I didn't get a scholarship at all. My parents didn't have all that much money, so I did student loans and I had grants, and then I worked throughout college, right? To figure out whatever I want to do to get my degree, which is what you're about to figure out. So, with your groups, whoever has the Chromebook open, so that group lead, you're gonna go to my calendar, click on the PowerPoint, and I want you to click this link. I'm gonna see if I can open it up for you. What you're essentially gonna be doing is essentially playing a life game, right? So they're gonna ask you questions. Do you wanna go to a private university? Do you wanna go to a public school? Do you want to go to a community college? And then you get to figure out what are you gonna be doing to make that money to pay for school, right? So, first thing, I'm gonna let you all figure this out, but GPA. I didn't have a 4.0 GPA leaving high school, did I? Maybe I did. I don't know. I was kind of smart. So, you may or may not, most people's GPAs follow along like the 3.5-ish range. It's up to you to choose, right? Extracurriculars. Y'all know what extracurriculars are?
No.
Who plays, what's extracurricular?
And like communication and like
Electives. So like sports. Who plays a sport? Okay. And sports, clubs, any teams that you're on, anything that you do outside of school, volunteering, all of that stuff. Colleges love to see that you volunteer, you play multiple sports, you're in all these different groups because it shows them that you're responsible, you're a team player, you can do all these things, right? Me personally, I don't think I had, I think it was about medium. And then my home state, of course, y'all will put Texas, but mine was North Carolina, right? Boom. So, they give you 4 different options. I can go to an in-state school. Usually in-state is cheaper. So that one is $20,000. Sounds about right. Out-of-state public school, $42,000. Private school, $62,000, and community college, less than half of in-state. You and your group will decide together what option you want to do. So if I follow my route, I did in-state public. I saved a whole bunch of money, which is technically true. I did not come home every weekend. Okay, the first question is your first week after graduation, and the old lady down the street just offered you $50 to mow her lawn. Do you want to do it?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say no.
Wow.
Okay, you struggle for 2 hours with her ancient lawnmower and do a great job. Then you go to deposit the check, she wrote and it bounced. What does it mean for check bounce? Did I get my money?
No.
No, so I'm probably good. Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop it here so y'all don't see everything. Decide with your group how far you get. Are you gonna, is your group gonna end up with some money? Or are y'all gonna be in the negatives once this is done? Fill it out at the bottom of your paper. The bottom, bless you. The bottom.
I say we do like every 7 minutes. Bro, you said for Harvard.
I'm gonna see if I end up with some money along Okay. You do not have to choose Texas if you don't want to. Oh Lord, I got more debt than y'all. Y'all only 4,000, I got 6. I need to work my money out. I'm in there by 6. Oh
Let's do
All that extra gotta come out of
Yeah, welcome back, right? We know we're gonna welcome back.
I done chose the wrong answer. How y'all only got $1,000? I ain't at the job part yet. I'm $10,000. Something to y'all.
Home isn't bad. How would they always be wrong? It's right here. I give it the books I rented. Get it.
Okay, so you're not gonna have a TV. The basics they're gonna give you is a microwave. I wanted to buy a video game. Once you get to sophomore year, make sure you pause. Once they say welcome to sophomore year, a half moon so we can chat about it. Close your Chromebook in a half moon once you get to sophomore year. Okay, so just do the time. Even if you did not make it. That group.
Engineering.
Okay, so real quick, let's wrap this up before they start running in here. I'm gonna go with y'all bags. Okay, this group, were you able to survive and not be in debt?
Our mom lost her job.
Okay. Oh, shit, I'm right.
Mom lost her job.
Okay.
Should we stay at the party, right?
That's not.
We stay.
But y'all did make the mistake. So listen up. I don't know if y'all can hear this group over here. Y'all did make the mistake of doing what, 15 hours, I believe? Or something like that? So that's another thing. Depending on how much you work during the week can offset your costs. I'm gonna come back to this. This group, did y'all survive through freshman year? No?
Yes, we survived.
Y'all survived?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all getting a refund check. That's like negative $5,000. So that's another great thing about college. You get a refund check. Okay, so y'all still had some money left over. How y'all gonna pay? No, I said sponsor right here. No?
We're like $10,000.
So y'all survived? And y'all still got it? Alright, my last group who wanted video games and Minecraft. Y'all think you think we're fine, okay. Okay, so that's a good point. That's a good point. Y'all good? Alright. So depending on the decisions that you do make in college will determine in real life how much money you have left over, or like this group. They made all the right decisions and ended up getting money back. This group had the highest debt. I'm not gonna say it was just because of the video games, but it's probably some other factors, but it does play into it. So this is stuff that I feel like y'all need to talk about in your college and ready course that y'all may or may not, okay? Because it's important, and nobody tells you about it, right? You just think, oh, we just need to go to college because I'm supposed to get a degree and that's it. That's not true, okay? Questions? I know we're getting cut off with time. Questions so far? No? Come put your group's paper right here. Yes. Melissa's going to collect your markers again. Lindsay should put my door. Okay, that's
Some challenges that I faced with this particular lesson was that the flow of the activity was a slight challenge for me. I feel like because it was something new that I was doing, I feel like it didn't flow as smoothly as some of my other activities that I've done with them before. Not that they don't know how to handle group work, not that they don't know how to handle whole group discussion, but I just think I should have probably prepped it a little bit differently than what I kind of had planned, and maybe orchestrated it in rotations, or maybe even as a gallery walk, or maybe even let them do it at their own pace and just gave all of the instructions in the beginning instead of kind of stopping and starting. So I was kind of antsy about that. And then also just the timing, I feel like I may have rushed them on certain parts and then took maybe too long on the other parts. So maybe next time when I redo this, even for next year, then I can kind of really schedule this, or maybe even make it longer, maybe do like a half a day of a lesson, make it like a fun Friday day. And then maybe just having more guiding questions for them to physically write down on the sheet of paper that each group had. So those are the kind of the challenges that I felt like I was facing. I did notice that they were very engaged, so of course that does come with a lot of talking and maybe seeming like they're off task just because they're so excited. But it kind of was also a plus for me just because I felt like they were very engaged and I did not really expect that out of them. Like I'm used to them being engaged when I have fun things or I do group activities, but this particular lesson, I did not expect them to be that into it. And I feel like Maybe it was because I let them choose the career choice. I didn't tell them they had to choose this choice. I didn't tell them how they had to play the game. I just kind of provided the instructions. I love that there was versatility in the conversations, even with the love it and hate it. I know that they don't want to be a teacher, and I have nothing against that. I want them to shoot for all of their dreams and all of their goals. I just want to be helpful in guiding them to get there, because I feel like our school always forces college down their throat. They're always saying, you need to go to college, you need to go to college, but no one ever talks to them, one, that you can get a degree in something that you really like being video games. You can create video games. We talked about that in one group in the video. No one ever talks about how to actually fund getting there. We hear the word scholarships, grants, and loans, but no one puts it into a practical sense for my students. I feel like we don't have a real conversation. We just tell them this is what they need to, shoot for because that's what's right, and when nobody ever really takes the time to break it down to them. And I feel like with the pay it back game, they were able to virtually be invested in and almost be a freshman in college and really see the different things that myself, other college students had to go through with, which is working odd jobs, working hours, doing work studying, trying to decide, do I want a TV or a video game? One group really got invested with that, but I almost didn't want to stop them because I loved hearing them go back and forth about it, because some students felt like a game is not a necessity and others did. And while one might come in the room and feel like that they are getting off task, but this is a real conversation. These are real conversations that I've had, as real conversations that my colleagues have had, where you do have to figure out, what's more important to you when you do get to college. So it was really fun seeing them interact and really take the game seriously. They were writing down notes. They were like, okay, if I work this job for this many hours, this is how much money I make. One group was very adamant in getting their debt down. And it's definitely something I want to try again for more time, to really allow themselves to get fully immersed in it and to see that a college student can look like them, whether that's, college or trade school, private school, public school. They are deserving of that seat in these classes.